Welcome to the TALKESHI podcast, episode 43. It's been a minute. I hope y'all are doing okay. It's been a minute, especially because I haven't done a solo episode in a minute. Hi guys, since August, dude. Holy crap. And obviously, I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere close to the point because I haven't rambled in so long, so I feel like I'm gonna be here for a while. Did I say hope y'all are okay? I hope I did. That's how rusty I am making episodes. I want to say that there is a reason for literally releasing an episode a month, okay? I feel like that is death. That is horrible if you want to be a social media creator and you're just uploading things once a month or something like that. There is a reason for that though. First of all, there is of course there is the mental health aspect. I just generally don't have time. Today I did. I was I've been planning this for for a while. Even this outfit, I was just I want to wear this outfit for an episode. I just generally didn't have time these past few months to sit down and shoot episodes, even though it's pretty easy to just edit them in a bit and upload them and whatnot. But I hadn't taken the time to do so. So yeah, there's that. I like spacing them out, I guess, because if I'm gonna do an episode every week, that would be too tough. I'd rather just do them once a month, and I'll catch you guys up on whatever is happening or have special guests on. I know it's not the same though. I do love just sitting here and rambling. But either way, there's another reason. Obviously this is confirmed. It's out there, and it always has been. I think I've talked about it these last few months after the first Eshies. Obviously there will be another Eshies, but I want that Eshies to be number 50. And obviously 40, 43, and then maybe if I this is episode 43 I meant. And the next one is gonna be hopefully in December. We'll probably I also want to say that I have a lot of ideas for TALKESHI, and it's a little overwhelming. I'm again overwhelming myself. I think I've talked about that in previous episodes, but I really want to do this social media thing right, at least, as a creator for myself, in my image. I do want to do right by my content, especially this podcast. I have big ideas for this podcast. It's just a little stressful, but nonetheless, I just have to organize myself well and stuff. So wish me luck. But anyway, hopefully there will be a New Year's special, maybe, or that's what I'm planning, right? And I do want to go slow and steady until the next Eshies, which will be in May. Every time I think about it, I get stressed out, but also excited. I'm genuinely super excited. I just really have to sort everything out to do a good show, but aside from that, that's the reason why the podcast has been extremely slow. But of course, there's always content on Instagram and stuff like that. So, I had said that I wanted this episode to be kind of rambly, right? Just let's talk. I wanted to talk about mental health on social media and stuff like that because a month ago there was this thing that happened. Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp were down. Remember, a month ago? Or more, probably. It was at the beginning of October, I think. And everyone went nuts. Everyone was just of course, I don't know. Look, social media addiction is definitely a thing. It's obviously a big part of our lives. It's a big part of my life. I work on social media, so unless I tell my boss hey, I'm gonna take a break and not be on social media, and I can't be off it. Even when I'm not on my personals, I have to be on my professionals. That sounds so weird, but yeah, I'm always on it, and it's not just my job, it's also my career. It's what I want to do, right? But obviously I have been on this spat from a few a little after the first Eshies that I was I just want to get off Twitter. There's a lot of bad takes on Twitter and stuff, and it was because a lot of us are addicted to social media. That being said, I do want to, like, I don't want this to be like, we're also addicted to social media. Like, I don't want this episode to be that, because that's stupid. So when that whole thing happened a month ago, I remember seeing, of course, like, a lot of people be like, oh, like, if we only, I don't know, like, René Calle 13, he was like, oh, Residente was like, if we only, I don't know, he was saying how, like, we just can't get off our social medias and stuff, or like, if only this would happen more. Like, people, that was the attitude, like, why doesn't this happen more, right? Which is ridiculous, because first off, a lot of us work on social media. I joked about it, like, oh my god, this feels like when there's like a fire drill and we all have to leave early for work or something. But not just that, it's just that, like, I feel like people don't understand that you have a choice, of course. Social media addiction aside, you have a choice to be in la red. You know, you can, like, choose to turn off your phone and disconnect and all that stuff. Because, like, I made this point on the TALKESHI Twitter. Alguien dijo como que no puedo con la gente en su viaje hippie diciendo que las redes se le debería caer a todo el mundo. No la uses si no quieres. Literally, that's the issue. Like, you can step off from this. And I love doing it. And I loved doing it. Like, todos estos meses, I was off Twitter. And honestly, my mental health was great. Like, I unplugged and I was just like, wow, like, I'm not as annoyed. I'm not cringing as much. I'm not like, I feel like I'm not in hell. I'm back. And sincerely, I think I have a better, I don't know, my mental health is better to the point where I can take being on Twitter and reading shit and just being entertained. Like, I can use it for entertainment and also political takes, because I'm back on, I don't know, I'm like back into politics. And this probably sounds really privileged, but listen, like, my relationship to politics is pretty interesting, because, like, I don't know if I was an SJW growing up. I don't think I was, because I was never, like, actively fighting anyone on the internet or anything like that. But I definitely remember, like, 2014 Tumblr, like, that's where I learned a lot of theory, to be honest. Like, especially in the US, like, I learned a lot about how I don't know, like, how, you know, like, just racism, homophobia, sexism, like, all those things I learned through Tumblr back then. And, like, a lot of the opinions that I formed that have, like still stand for me now have been, like, from that era. So, of course, like, you know, when I got into college, like, that got even stronger, like, that feeling of, like, fighting against the oppressor, all these, like, terms that to a lot of people sound really annoying. Even to me, it sounds kind of annoying, but at the same time, it is important. Like, I think being politically aware is really important, especially, I'll just get on a little tangent now and say that, like, thanks to H3, I am now a Hassan Abi head, and I am, like, watching all of Hassan Piker's streams, and I find that so annoying. Why do I have to watch so, like, I'm over here standing annoyed, but, like, at the same time, I love his fucking streams. I love him. I'm such a stan. And the thing is, okay, like, I'll listen. The thing is that I am into it again because of leftovers. Like, H3 has, like, this little side podcast that is, like, you know, Hassan and Ethan from H3, like, talking about politics every Sunday. I love it personally. And, like, thanks to me getting into Hassan, like, and his streams, like, I am actually really into politics again. And I find politics, like, I don't know, like, I'm back to being aware, because, like, thanks to, dude, like, this is the thing about, like, being exhausted, like, your mental health being fucked up on social media, because it also depends on who you follow. I'm pretty sure not everyone feels this political, mental, social exhaustion from social media. Other people use it just, like, for memes, and, you know, it obviously depends on that. But at the same time, for me, it was draining. You know, it was really hard to, and I know how ignorant this can sound, but at the same time, it is true. And I actually would recommend people to, like, take a step back maybe sometimes, because it's not easy being, like, socially and politically aware all the time. It's not, and it's really tiring. And in moments, like, lo de Keishla, remember, like that whole ordeal back in May, that was exhausting all the time. Looking, like, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not saying like this is a problem. Like, no, like it is. This is a problem that we can pin on someone. No, it's so tiring. If you're an empathetic person, I think it just gets so exhausting to learn how shitty the world is all the time. It's stressful. It's not good for your mental health. Like, I think if you consistently are looking, and especially like the curveballs that the timeline can throw at you, like if you're just sitting there and you're like seeing a cute picture of a dog, horrible tragedy, funny meme, and then like a news on like racism or sexism or anything. I also don't want this to come off as like, just turn your head off to that, because like obviously I wasn't like any news that I would learn. Obviously, I was aware of it. It wasn't like I completely shut off to like all news and like, oh, like, because that's privilege. Like, I think if you can do that, that's privilege. And I have my privileges. Of course, I fucking do. But I also do have my disadvantages. And I don't know. I don't want to get into that specifically. But to any human being, consistently being aware of like, not just politics, just like social injustice and all of that can affect your mental health. So my message with that is just to be wary and to kind of, be, just observe what you consume. Be extremely aware of what you consume. It's important because like if you constantly, I guess it's also the way that you consume it. If like, I think a lot of people take it to the horrible, like negative and pessimistic way of like, there's literally nothing we can do. This is all horrible. Some people are way too optimistic. Some people literally like don't care about politics and like have that privilege of not having to, be aware of all these things or even care or just be like, everything's going to be okay. Why would I read that to like ruin my day? Like, no, just at least be aware that these things are happening, like. But anyway, like it does, like it's a lot of, this is horrible. I hate rambling like this. I hate mumbling and like tripping over my words, but I hope the message got through, because like I was even looking through like my old podcast episodes, and bro, the second episode was talking about el Código Civil. I talked a lot about like the racism in like La Comay, and just like last year talking about like, especially being socially conscious, like especially like that Karol G episode and the Nati Peluso episode, like bro. But yeah, that's kind of where my head is at lately, and that's kind of how, that is where I'm at with like social media. I am back on social media. Well, I'm on social media every single day, especially on Instagram, because like if I have to get personal now, like I think I pretty much covered the mental health aspect of it. But if I have to get personal now and talk about my own, like where I've been and what's been going on, obviously I'm like every day on Instagram. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, bro, I don't know if y'all saw this, but like I had my first really big brand deal. My first brand deal was technically right through, shout out to right through always, but I had my first like really big brand deal with Burger King 2 weeks ago for Halloween. Shout out to Burger King. That was honestly an awesome experience, and it really motivated me to like keep moving forward with my content, and obviously like all the support that I got was really great. But it was a week. It was definitely a week. Like shout out also to my team, of course, like love them so much, but it was definitely a lot of work for me. Especially it was like it was awesome, but it was a lot of work, but it was great. Why am I saying this again? Because obviously like I am on social media all the time. That's kind of the point that I was hammering there. So the thing is that I'm not on Facebook. Like, I used to be on Facebook like years ago, and honestly, I haven't been there for like almost 2 years now because I don't know, like I generally don't care. It's not my echo chamber. It's not my like. I only stop by it when I have to for work, or for my own personal things, or when I have to look for something, and like I just like my best friend's stuff, and I go. So I'm not on there. I am a lot on. I'm obviously always on YouTube. Now I'm a little more on Twitch, of course. Now I'm always on Instagram. There was like when I was talking about the week that I had with like the brand deal, I was on Instagram. Posted on Instagram 7 times. Like, bro, I posted like every single day in a row. That's crazy for me. I don't know how I did that. Lots of planning, lots of organizing, I guess. Wanted to keep active. But I do have a really good relationship with social media now. Especially, for work, I have a really good relationship with that. I have a really good, like, I think another point to, touch on, I think I kind of did already with, like, the way you consume social media is important. I also like unfollowed like a ton of people or muted a ton of people or just like really fine-tuned my I really fine-tuned my social media experience. I think that one of the things that even made me want to leave like Instagram, which like it's not weird, but obviously like you thrive more on as a creator, you thrive more on certain social medias than others. I think it also works like you could be like a big tuiterepautose, and then on Instagram like flop all the time because your strength is Twitter, and that applies to everything. Like you could be a big YouTuber and your Instagram flops, or like on Instagram you do great numbers and then on Twitter like no one follows you, or your videos don't do well on YouTube or stuff like that, so like obviously every experience is different because every social media platform has like its niches and like like it's certain engagements. But it sucks that you just can't be like your best, like if you had like 100k follow subscribers on YouTube, then you can't like have the same on Instagram or something like that. But the point that I'm trying to make there is that obviously different social medias, you go on it for different things, but at the same time, just be aware of what you consume on each one of those. Like I was saying, I deleted and unfollowed a ton of people. I made sure that like what I was like any simple thing that threw me off, I would unfollow or mute at the very least. Like just literally make it a good place to be, because of course there's gonna always be people that annoy you or people that post really annoying things. Like I said a few months ago, that episode, that number, I don't even remember, but it was one that was like internet friends are not your real friends or something. That episode really marked my philosophy on social media, really, and social media friends, parasocial relationships and all that stuff. So obviously I recommend, but I also it's so important still to like protect your mental health and your relationships on social media and stuff. But yeah, to wrap up this episode, I just want to say that protect your mental health on social media, especially if you're a creator. Like it's so hard to disconnect, but at the same time it's very necessary. So I feel like a lot of y'all have lives, and if you don't have lives, you have jobs that require a lot of hours and hours of work, so you're disconnected. I would take that, like I wouldn't take that for granted. I would love that, because sometimes social media be excessive, especially now with like the news of like, I mean this is unrelated, but like reading all the Astroworld stuff can be heavy. Like I'm not just talking about, like when I say protect your mental health, I feel like at the beginning it sounded like I didn't want people to be socially aware or like politically aware or things like that, but like there's just also just tragedies that happen that sometimes just have no, I mean obviously that whole situation was like messed up and shit, but at the same time like I'm not talking about just politics, I'm just talking about tragedy and just negative news in general. it's really easy to like go down the slopes and feel like, I don't know, just let it affect you a lot. So just try to have fun on social media. That's literally what it is for if you are just a consumer. I'm a consumer and the creator, and it's like I want social media to be a happy place to be. So I'm going to try to do that. Finalizing? I just want to say that I'm excited for what's coming up. I also have a few videos planned. It's obviously a long ways from now, but the Eshies is coming and I'm planning it, and just stay tuned for, I guess, like the episodes to come, which like the Eshies is coming. That's the biggest thing that's coming, and it's obviously coming months from now. But there will be a few fun surprises, and there's a surprise literally, like I'm getting, like right now this is me getting ready for a surprise. It's probably have come out this week. You'll probably have seen it. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm excited for that as well. Like things like that are coming out, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, thank you for watching this ramble. I really miss just sitting down here, bro, and not doing anything. But let's see what we do for a New Year's special, because I have a Christmas video coming out, so I'm really excited for that. And just keep up with me on Instagram. And God, I really like, okay, just like on a last little note, I'm so inspired by H3 and all these like creators, like especially H3. I think they have like a lot of really cool dynamics and a lot of really cool stuff that just, it's like better than television. And I genuinely want to bring that here. And I'm like manifesting all these like hopefully amazing things. Like I'm in such a good headspace as well that like it motivates me to just like create better things, hopefully, you know. Like it's stressful when things don't turn out the way that you wanted them to and stuff. So I'm manifesting that everything goes well for me and for you watching and listening. This has honestly been like a crazy year. I'm not gonna get into it because of course like we'll leave that for the New Year's. But it's been a crazy year personally, and even professionally. So I will see y'all in the New Year special, and I hope that y'all are doing okay, and thank you for watching, of course. Literally no words to say after that. Bye, guys.